Foes are forced to become friends. Then a Donnybrook breaks out. It's the Go Home Survivor Series show right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I'd be willing to bet that Jimmy Hart made this song.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right in that era where they all kind of sounded like this.
All Jimmy. All Jimmy.
Absolutely.
One of the oldest Survivor Series theme songs. Welcome everybody to the Raw After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. That's right. It is the Go Home Show for the Survivor Series. This Sunday, November 20th, coming at us from Toronto, Canada. Let's just get right into it. I know the State of the Union's going on right now, but from what I understand in chat roll, there's not a whole lot going on in said State of the Union. So we're going to try to entertain you as best as possible. And just, if you're watching both, hey, multitask. Good for you. I'm Jonny Loquasto. Find me on Twitter at JQuasto. That man right there. See him every single week along with myself on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He's the first progenitor of hyper-optimism. And his man, Eric Watts, currently holds the United Tag Team titles by himself. But that may change because a certain someone, it looks like they're going to be getting back in the ring. Find him on Twitter at Ty Matthews PMA. He's Ty Matthews.
What to do?
Not much.
You know?
What do you feel about that, pal?
You know what? At first I was a little miffed.
Yeah,
miffed. That's not part of the vision.
Yeah.
That's not part of the plan.
Sure.
That is hyper-optimism's global domination. But as I said in a pre-taped promo piece that the fans of Championship Wrestling from Arizona will see, I didn't stop wrestling because I couldn't. I stopped because I chose to use my mind and my voice and my words. But I can still get it done. I've still got a few gores left in me. And the Hobo and Jervis Cottonbelly, well, they'll find that out.
And so you have to get back in the ring with you and Eric Watts defending the United Tag Team Championships. I can't wait.
Fans, if you watch all of the AfterBuzz Wrestling programs, you'll see two AfterBuzz Wrestling hosts going at it on warring teams.
That's a great point. You will.
Team Raw versus the NX team.
That's right.
Uh-oh. So you know what?
So you got to download the Fight TV app. I know we have a lot of international listeners. We have listeners from all over the country. We have viewers. Go download Fight TV. We tell you every week. FITE, download it. You can watch for free. I'm telling you, we got some great stories going on in Championship Wrestling. It's so fun. We got one more taping in 2016. Then we're storming in 2017. So,
yeah.
And that dude's getting right in the middle of it, and I cannot wait to call that. That's a good face. Right next to him, making his triumphant return, everybody, back to the Raw After Show. He was a long-time mainstay here. He's one of the co-creators of the Wrestling and Padre Slamcast on Fox Sports. He travels all over the world. He's going to be going to Wrestle Kingdom in Japan for the second year in a row. Or third year in a row. Second year in a row. Follow him on Twitter at DWalkingDale. He's Dale Rutledge.
You're messing up my intro. Hey, everyone. I'm professional.
Hey. What's going on?
What's going on? I'm going to be your official mascot for the Survivor Series Go Home show.
That's right.
Because I can't wrestle.
Well, you never know.
Stop touching my cord!
What are you guys doing?
I've got this.
Oh, jeez.
It's Survivor Series. We're supposed to get along.
What kind of monkey business?
We're supposed to not get along.
No, that's a good point.
I totally didn't booby trap Ty's microphone. By
No,
the way.
hang on.
You little. That makes me think you did.
Will you be
There we go. We're good. We're good, guys.
It's going to be one of those shows.
Hey, everyone.
I'm very excited for it.
I can't wait to talk about the NBA.
Yeah, let's talk basketball.
Yeah.
So,
Scottie Pippen, right?
Russell Westbrook
Am
just
I
crushing
right?
it.
Dream
Anyways,
Vlade Divac?
you guys sound like,
anyone else that was in NBA Jam?
with your references, you sound like me and everything else.
That's true.
Exactly.
That
Like,
can't be a
I
good
could talk
start.
modern sports,
If
but
this were an NBA after show, I would be the fun dad for sure.
Yeah.
well, that's the
Tables
best
will be
part is like
turned.
him and Scott Norver tend to make fun of me because I'm not an expert on Star Wars and they just clown me about it. I'm like, if we brought up sports right now, y'all would just be sitting there drooling.
But that's not the case
You know,
now,
let's
is
talk
it?
about Russell Wilson's QBR, huh? Anyways.
Yeah, that's a car model, and I know that.
QB. What's happening?
I just
Thanks
rolled
for-
it. Someone put a coffee mug on the ground.
Thanks for choosing to watch us over the actual show happening on WWE, because we have a lot of useful things to say about this.
Appreciate it.
From what I understand,
Preach.
there's not a whole
Preach.
lot going on in there.
They're going to be trading people, right?
Tonight?
Whoever wins.
No.
Whoever wins Survivor Series, they're going to trade. They're going to get to pick some trade or draft or whatever you
Maybe.
want to say.
That'd be nice.
That's my guess.
They're going to have
cool.
a redraft?
They're going to redraft.
Boy, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, good to be here.
Yeah.
Can't get the after work. So.
And you finally fly back to DC tomorrow night.
Yes, I was here last week. I came, I voted, I did compadres. I went to the Napa Valley Film Festival. Now I'm back again.
And you're doing compadres tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
And technically Friday's episode, I guess.
Yep, I'm getting the F out.
Which is good. That's right. So anyways, let's just get into it. So Monday Night Raw, it's the go-home show. The entire roster's on the stage, and they announce Stephanie and Mick Foley, of course. They announce all the matches, and there's a whole bunch of teams going tonight. Foes teaming up to be friends because they, last week they showed that they had their competitive edge. They got that out of the way. Well, tonight they got to get along. That's pretty much going on. So a whole bunch of matches got made.
Yeah,
That's true.
you are correct.
All right. Mark, we're going to need a lot of sound bites this hour.
Really banking on it.
By the way, that's Mark Donica, everyone.
Hey, what to do, everybody?
Follow him on that Twitter, follow him on that Instagram, follow him on Snapchat, and follow him on LinkedIn. All right.
Just don't follow him home. That's creepy.
No, he
Don't
wouldn't
follow
mind.
me late for dinner.
Boom with that attitude.
Jesus. This is going to be the best.
Yeah.
All right. KO and Roman Reigns take on Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman.
You knew it was coming.
I can never be prepared for it. So, yes, they team up against each other in what is a tag team match. Wow, we're-
Right off the bat.
I'm so glad we were on point with that one.
We did that so early in the show.
Well, you know what? I wanted to make sure that y'all were on your toes.
We got it.
We are now ready. Mm-hmm. We can start now.
I love,
Let's go.
I love Strange Bedfellows tag team matches because it reminds me of Battle Bowl. It reminds me of the Lethal Lottery way back in the day.
Way back in the day.
Back in the days of Arachnaman and the Z-Man, Tom Zenk.
Yes.
And Firebreaker Chip.
You're going way back.
Just making up words.
Deep cuts. Deep cuts. Early 90s WCW was a weird time,
Really
guys.
early, yeah, WCW. Like, we're talking pre-Vinny Vega, I think.
Ooh, Vinny Vegas is the best.
Oh, sure was.
The Snake Eye. That's where the Snake Eyes came from. That's why it's called Snake Eyes. Mm-hmm. But that's what I love. I love it because the matches are usually dynamic, and we get to see kind of slightly different stories being told because people have to coexist, but they also have to kind of be at each other's throats. I also liked it because I thought we saw some good stuff out of Braun Strowman, so we're actually getting a little bit of depth. It seems like
I did like his comedic point this evening about the scarves. That was my favorite, maybe of the night.
It's pretty incredible.
I want your scarf.
The last couple weeks, he's been involved in some comedic segment. Is it too much for Brown? Is it, you know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
who's gonna? Is he?
If it's used sparingly, I think it's fine.
But is he entering that territory of like no one taking him seriously, and he'll just be the big guy that doesn't actually go anywhere? If he keeps...
like I said, if it's used sparingly, I think he can survive and still be a badass. Mm-hmm. But it's once it gets to the point where they're kind of relying on that crutch every week, then it goes into I forgot this guy used to be like a threat. Then you're getting into like Tensai territory. That's what happened to Lord Tensai.
Yeah, he was right from the start. It didn't work.
I don't know. I think
weren't into
if they could have used him correctly, I think it could have worked. But before too long, and I think it's kind of the curse of like Matt Bloom's comedic abilities that he always ends up getting settled into that role.
I don't know. Big Show had that same problem. I mean, it's like. I think maybe someone on the creative team is like, wouldn't it be funny if the really big dude was funny?
Well, Big Show's oscillated between those two several times.
I think Big Show likes that though. He likes being funny.
Right. And I think to a lesser extent that's also happened with Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, he's funny for a while, then let's take him off TV for a few months, and like, oh, let's have him kill some people.
Well, don't forget, you're
Right.
talking about two guys that are at the very tail end of their careers.
Sure.
Brown
Yeah.
is
Sure.
far from it.
You're really committing to calling him Brown.
Yeah, Braun.
Braun. Like Brawny.
Bringing your mom.
There it is. Anyways, pretty cool ending here. So, bro kick from Sheamus onto Kevin Owens, knocks him out, but Roman Reigns spears Sheamus, and then he just picks up Kevin Owens, drags him onto Sheamus for the win. I dug that. Very similar to the ending we had last week.
Sure.
Yeah, why not make your main champion look less powerful than the guy with the other champion?
Well, that seems like it's been the recurring theme since he won that title.
Yeah. Well, I mean, heel champ.
Don't get me
Yeah,
started,
that's a good. Yeah.
I guess.
Heel champs are rarely ever made to look powerful. They barely scrape by.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
So-
wrestling.
It's a great idea.
Soundbite?
Your fingers are just hovering above keys, aren't they?
Oh, I'm waiting.
Say something.
The maestro, Mark Donica.
So backstage, we already mentioned this. Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman. Whoop, got it. You know, he's got a gift. The gift of Jericho is in a little box. 2 boxes, and you might ask, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Well, they're scarves. Really nice scarves.
The scarf of Jericho.
Yeah.
Try it on, man. It's pretty incredible.
It was. And but Braun Strowman had a message for Chris Jericho.
Stop saying Brown Strowman.
Brown.
He's not a color.
Yeah, it's Brownium. I'm pretty sure. It's how you-
Brawlonium?
Yeah,
He's on the periodic table, actually. His
Braun-
name's on the periodic table.
Browman.
Braun.
Braun Strowman had a message. I don't like scarves. And so he took... Actually, no, first he wanted Jericho's.
Right.
I want your scarf. Rips it in half.
Rude.
I don't like scarves.
Why'd
So
you lie
Jericho
about
had
it?
to wear the captain's scarf.
He liked that scarf better, you could tell.
Yeah, I think so. Way more designer,
Sure.
if you ask me. So yeah,
No one would ever ask you.
I did it. No one asked me the fashion. The hell do I know? Although I am wearing a Survivor Series T-shirt, so I thought.
I mean,
about it.
really.
You're topical, if nothing else.
I left the house this morning, and I thought I was like, you know, what? I'm going to wear this tonight. Thought about
And
it.
look at you.
right.
You did it.
Look at me.
You came through.
I'm full grown.
It's a clutch move.
So, yeah.
But see, I did like this comedic moment. To get back to your point, so far so good.
Yeah.
They are using it sparingly, and I think that it is working out for him because we haven't seen much of anything except for, I want more competition.
Right.
That's not really, that's what everybody says forever.
Right.
I want to fight.
Right,
It's
exactly.
not really a character. So
Yeah.
at least it's something.
I wouldn't
and
say that.
And his delivery is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like, it seems like he gets the comedic part of it.
Right.
At least. So.
I mean, he spent a lot of time as a Rosebud prior to the Wyatt family.
That's right.
So he's no stranger to
Not the bunny.
silliness. Not the funny.
So that happened backstage. Next, Bo Dallas taking on Sami Zayn. They had a bit of a little argument backstage, and
pre-show.
Sami said, "Why don't you pre-show? Why don't you prove yourself?" And Bo's looking more like unwashed every week.
I like that, though.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting take on Bodell.
He's like breaking or something, right?
Right.
Is that what's I kind of
I think so. Yeah.
I presume that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Not in like a Matt Hardy way. I just mean
I mean, maybe.
he's just need a little break.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't happen long. Sami Zayn took care of him pretty quick.
Well, that's terrific.
Luba kick for the win.
Pretty
Quick.
Do you guys think Sami Zayn is bringing that belt over to Raw?
Man. I don't think.
I mean,
No. Well, that would have to. Well, that would maybe make the trade for the cruiserweights versus.
Oh, interesting.
You got to move a belt to move a belt. I feel.
But I feel like those are in incongruous divisions.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I said it.
Here's what I don't understand. Raw is 3 hours long.
Sure.
Yes.
SmackDown is
Oh,
2
we know
hours
that.
long. Why
That's 5
would you
hours.
add an entire division to a 2-hour show when you have plenty of time on a 3-hour show?
Well,
Because they only ever get 2 segments on the 3-hour show
exactly.
anyway.
They're like the divas of the early aughts. Mm-hmm. Totally disjointed in the first place. They feel they need a hard boot, and I mean, I think logistically speaking, 205 Live is touring with SmackDown.
Sure.
Oh, right.
So I mean, that's really why.
Sure.
So that
they're
tells me,
they're shooting at SmackDown tapings.
sure, but
Yeah,
that
there you
tells
go.
me that we're barely going to see the cruiserweights on SmackDown then. Because
we barely see him on Raw.
what's 205 Live? It's not going to be like a total Divas behind the scenes show. It's going to be just another wrestling show.
205 Live is essentially going to be the superstars / main event of the cruiserweight division.
Got it. So we're probably not going to see much on SmackDown with them.
But it'll help get the audience has been so cold to the new division because they
Yeah,
don't
they
know
really
these
have.
guys,
Right.
And they haven't had a way to really showcase them because again they're only giving them these quick matches and they're like, how about 3-on-3? How about 2-on-2? It's like okay.
Well, one of the best things about the Cruiserweight Classic was the stories that were being told and the fact that we really got a chance to get these guys' stories not just once but every time we saw them.
Yeah, and it was their
so-
true life stories too, so you even felt connected as a person.
Right,
like, they're
right.
from my
Instead of
country,
everyone
or they-
talking in catchphrases.
Exactly, with Rich Swann, we got
Stop.
this really nice deep story about how he came from tragedy and how he saw all this hardship and he's living his dream, as opposed to Raw where it's like, man, he loves having fun.
Yeah,
Can you handle it?
he dances.
Right, he really likes dancing, guys.
Can you handle it though?
Can you handle it?
Yeah.
That's what it's his music, guys.
It was
No way, Jose.
The video game talk is just too much for me.
It's a little bit shoehorned in.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. At least it's something.
Right.
I mean, that's more than the other 10 guys that are in that. You want to move that cup?
Yeah.
It's more than the other 10 guys that are in that division get nothing at all.
It's more than we're getting for guys like Drew Gulak or Tony Nese.
Exactly. And they all have an interesting story. So regardless, whatever it is, I'm glad that they understand there's a problem and they're fixing it.
Right. But I think, to the point that we're making, what would make even more strides is getting that depth and getting those stories back and giving fans a reason to relate to these guys.
That was my initial point that I forgot. So having them go with SmackDown or whatever the case may be, at least live audiences will get it, not just people who watch the network.
Right.
So
Right.
you can start to identify with these guys even if you're not really deep in the wrestling.
So essentially, SmackDown Live's going to close out, and then boom, 205 Live will tape immediately afterwards. Is what I'm
Yes,
guessing.
and then Talking Smack will air after that, I believe, is what the schedule is.
Yeah,
I
but,
see,
but
okay.
205 Live it's going to essentially air live immediately after SmackDown on USA,
No.
or just the network.
The network.
So after SmackDown, they say, all right, go to the network right now. And you watch 205 Live. That's going to be all live.
Yep.
And then bam, Talking Smack. That is a lot of television one night.
So,
Woo!
that's why they have a whole network.
That's what it's for.
It's the same amount of content that you're getting from the
Raw.
network for Raw.
Exactly.
I find it weird for the live show though. They're going to end a main event feud for the WWE Championship and then go, oh wait, here come people who can flip.
Right.
So I wonder if they're going to shoot it live and then air it after SmackDown. That seems like the most realistic thing. Then they can pre-record.
But they're calling it 205. I agree with you, but they're calling it 205 Live.
And there's also
yeah.
there's a question of style as well, because once again, one of the things that worked about the Cruiserweight Classic is that these guys were able to work the style that they're used to, that kind of made them popular. Whereas the quote unquote Cruiserweight division we've been seeing on Raw is more just guys that happen to be cruiserweights wrestling the Raw style. What do we think the style is going to be like on 205 Live?
And that's
Sure. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's what I liked about the CWC is that it wasn't all about the flipping and getting the crowd to go wild. It was also a lot of the Jack Gallagher's and you know.
Right.
There's just more depth to what was happening, and again, that's going to be hard in front of a live crowd that doesn't get it.
Right.
So
Right.
we'll see. Anyway, they know they need to fix it, and this is them trying.
Yeah.
So good on them.
I mean, it's a bummer, though. It kind of gives away that Kalisto's winning the damn title.
Not necessarily. They can always
Maybe
have
not.
a different.
Yeah, we've been swerved before.
Yeah, Shane Undertaker was supposed to tell us something, and that didn't matter.
That's a whole different story. That was supposed to tell us a lot of things.
That's a different AFTERBUZZ.
That was just something else. So, yes, Brian Kendrick talking backstage with the aforementioned cruiserweights, just basically trying to do a rallying cry, saying, hey, don't worry. We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay right here because I'm the man. And Rich Swann, he gets in TJ's face because he's beaten Kendrick twice now, and TJ still hasn't gotten his rematch and all this good stuff. And then Sin Cara was very difficult to understand because he had the mask on. But he ends up wrestling Kendrick a little bit later on in the show.
Yep.
Did you say Brown Kendrick?
No?
Is that what you said?
Nope. Pretty sure I didn't.
All right, just checking.
Not saying
Saying
that.
things weird,
I'm not
that's
saying
all.
that name the rest of the show.
I knew it. You did say it.
Deep breath.
Yeah, it is rough with Sin Cara. I mean, I don't know how they can do that unless it's like Spider-Man style where he pulls it up halfway.
Right.
Speaks because I mean it's very difficult to get over when you're like, say what exactly?
It's hard to speak in a mask.
Sorry, what?
You were a little mumbly.
It's very hard to speak in a mask.
Yeah.
Mumbler.
Somehow Jervis Cottonbelly does a great job with it.
He's great.
Yeah, you could
Well,
hear
no,
him.
that's just his face.
That's true. That is his face. That's why.
That's because it's not a mask.
That's true. It's his real face. So New Day taking on Jericho, Braun Strowman, and Seth Rollins. This was really fun, actually. Now, New Day, I love them to death. Look, they're all cool dudes. They're taking it a little heavy with the selling merch. Like, it's getting rough to watch.
Yeah.
Like, tonight was really, like, I don't know if they were going for that, but like there was really, like, if you watch their pre-match segment as a whole from start to finish, you literally can say they said nothing besides buy all these things.
Oh yeah.
But they're heading into a match with like 47 dudes. What is there to say?
I get it.
Yeah. But
Man.
I definitely see your point. It's getting kind of exhausting.
It would make one think, are they running out of things to say?
Sure.
Well, without a program.
And I mean,
absolutely.
yeah, and that's to be fair, I don't think that's any fault of their own. I think they've been kind of saddled with this tag team title reign that it has to break this like capital S streak that was built up by Demolition that nobody ever really intended to break until they realized, like, oh, they're getting kind of
so
close. Yeah, like, now we kind of have to.
I hope so, at least.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, and yes, it is. But I mean, that's the problem with these go-home shows is a lot of it is fluff, anyways. So they fluffed it with maybe getting a bigger paycheck to take home. I can't.
And don't forget, they're less than a month away from becoming the all-time longest reigning champions, passing Demolition. So
Are they that close?
Yep, they are.
450, right? That was today. 450.
Just about 450, and then I want to say it's 479.
Okay.
Something like that. So
And it's interesting too the way that they have to promote these pay-per-views because like the Raw team is kind of just on a placeholder with Survivor Series because they're already promoting TLC for SmackDown.
SmackDown, yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, we already have the main event set for that event. So
Right.
Raw has to wait a little bit to get to Royal Rumble, which is kind of another all man in placeholder event. So I don't know what New Day's really going to be doing. I mean, I think that may be why they were like, we don't have anything to talk about.
Right.
Let's sell some socks.
sure.
And it's another one of those things where, okay, once they beat Demolition's record, it's like, okay, we can put that in the record books now. No one's really going to care once they finally lose it to someone, because I feel like it's hit a point of diminishing returns. I feel like it's gone all the way around past the point of whoever beats them is going to get the rub. Like, I feel like whoever beats them isn't even going to get a rub from it anymore.
Unless they could find a way to establish a new feud that people really, really care about.
Right.
The problem is New Day is so fun and so much of their act is comedy, it's very difficult for them to get into a feud that people are really invested in. Like that brief thing with the Wyatts was great, and then it just got dropped.
Right.
Well, everybody got upset that it was too much like the Hardys. So they were like,
I was thrilled about that.
We're done with it then. You know
Well, and I think this is obviously only speculation, but it could be the fact that they're so good at the comedy, and it's such a good merch mover that maybe they don't want them going too close to the serious side of things.
Now you're out of control.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I know it's a hot take, guys.
Merch is powerful.
Sure.
Anyways, we'll see. But Braun Strowman with the big power slam for the win. Like Michael Cole said, very similar to the British Bulldog.
Yeah.
Dug that. Charlotte and Sasha talking smack back in the locker room. Basically saying, Charlotte's like, I'm the captain, I'm the queen. Sasha's like, no, you ain't. Anything else?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Not enough sweethearts.
Let's get along tonight. Not enough sweethearts. And then this Sunday, we better get along as well.
I'm glad Alicia Fox is in there.
Me
Hell
too.
Yes.
Me too.
Well deserved.
Very excited about that.
It's amazing. She's been there. She was signed so young.
She's been there over a decade.
She was like 20 when she got signed or something.
Yeah.
Damn.
Good for her. And it is nice seeing her. Unfortunately, I don't know how long she's going to last in the match, but
Right, of course. But
she's just a really, she's a really cool person. I mean, really fun to talk to. She's never had any issues. She's a good ambassador for the company. She goes to visit the troops. She's the kind of person that you want to have on the roster because she makes the company look good.
Absolutely.
And so very happy to see her, get some ring time. And I do like the fact that they called back to her problem with Nia Jax because I really enjoyed that match. And,
Right.
Let's talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, get some good storytelling in there because then that can still continue forward because we only really got that one
Right.
brief stint of it,
And
right?
yeah, I was really worried about them just kind of leaving that alone, like for the 2-3 weeks that it happened.
It made me wonder if something happened with Nia Jax. Was there like an injury or was there some work that was being done? They're like, you need to practice a little more.
I still think she
something.
does.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I absolutely think she does.
it's
Sure.
weird that they dropped
Sure.
it because that was well over 2 months ago.
That was several. That was early September, I want to say.
Yeah, so it's interesting to bring it back. I'm glad they did, but I wonder what exactly caused that hiccup in the program there for those two.
Not quite sure. Brian Kendrick beats Sin Cara with the captain's hook. So I kind of like this because, they even mentioned on commentary that, fighting Sin Cara was a good idea because their styles are somewhat similar, him and Kalisto. So that was a good move.
Yeah.
Sure.
I kind of dug that.
And I like the little. I've said this before, but I like when this version of Kendrick, this like really kind of manipulative sort of like weaselly version of Kendrick uses really creative means to sort of not really cheat, but kind of cheat, like twisting his mask around.
Right.
Like stuff like that I really, really dig.
Yeah, it's nothing illegal per se, but it's dirty.
It's exactly.
I like that a
Yeah.
whole bunch. Yeah.
It's all that veteran, wily veteran moves.
Sure.
And I love Kendrick, and I'm hoping that I'd like to see him with a really long title reign.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing better than a great heel that has a title.
Right.
Because it stays interesting the whole time.
Absolutely. And he has the most name recognition of anyone there. So I think keeping the title on him helps the division out as far as being like, oh, should I watch this? Oh, I recognize that guy.
And it's cool, too, because he looks nothing like he did during his last run.
Not at all. Both visually and stylistically.
Stylistically, for sure, yeah.
It shows his growth, and it shows also that he's a bit more weathered and bitter, which is pretty cool as a character, you know?
Right.
Really cool. Sasha and Charlotte taking on Nia Jax and Alicia Fox, like we mentioned here. Sasha ends up making Foxy tap out, but not before they end up fighting each other. Her and Sasha trading off some forearms, knocking each other down. Not looking to. I like about this match is the women are clearly not getting along, and Bayley comes down and tries to hug it out.
Yeah, that didn't really work out for her. It's interesting in this match, though, the way that they were painting this picture. I mean, Nia Jax looks certainly next in line for challenging for that belt. Her Charlotte and Sasha both had a lot of trouble with Nia Jax.
Right. And I think that's how they need to be presenting Nia Jax. When you have that sort of power, you have to show it as kind of like this runaway freight train, basically.
Yep.
That Charlotte and Sasha can't really stand up to, you know?
Yeah. I'm excited to see that match, but I do like how they built up the fact that Raw is really not getting along. Then again, SmackDown, they're not getting along either as far as the women goes. So it should be fun on Sunday.
Well, that's what's fun about these teams is that none of them are true heel face teams.
Right.
Somebody's always in the mix there.
And also, I think really what's happening there is both the Raw and SmackDown women's divisions are so small, it's basically their entire division on a team. That's why they're not getting along.
Very true. Enzo and Cass yes, with the club defeating Golden Truth and Shining Stars. Club getting the pin just as they were about to tag in Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
Just to get one over on Enzo and Cass. So there you go.
And I like that they said that they would stab their own teammates in the back. Like, that's a good thing. Like, keep your eye on those two. I think that's a good way to go into it.
Well, I think that the disparity there is so wide that I think it's kind of weird to even be teasing. Like, oh, can they trust him? Like, no,
definitely
obviously not. Like, why would you even suggest that they might be able to?
Right. And I guess that stabbing in the back was paying to your point.
Yeah, because really, like, what... Is there anything on the line in that Survivor Series match that would prevent them from stabbing their partners in the back?
Nah.
Is there any sort of incentive for them to be even in the same ballpark as Enzo and Cass?
I don't know.
I mean, who do you see being the next champions in line? I mean, sorry, the next team in line to challenge the champions here.
On Raw, I mean...
Because it's interesting, they came in so white hot.
Right,
those two,
and that program with New Day just left such a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and then they haven't really recovered.
Right. I
don't know.
I mean, Gallows and Anderson, if they just would have let them be who they were in New Japan, and I'm look, who am I to say?
Sure.
Yeah, I think they'd be fine right now. We'll see if they can find a way to get them back to that.
Right.
The doctor turn really confused me.
That's
where I got confused.
A lot came with that one.
But they were a little bit goofy. If you want to look at New Japan, though,
goofy.
They're a little goofy in New Japan too. So it's not like they're being untrue to what
true.
we knew them as.
Oh, sure, but I think they had a lot more freedom in New Japan. The type of goofy that they were there versus the type of goofy in PG WWE.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like a lot of ball jokes and like that's kind of as edgy as you can get.
Right.
There were some fun ball jokes, though, guys.
There were a lot of them.
So these are the teams. So we got Enzo and Cass, Gallows Anderson, Golden Truth, Shining Stars, and New Day. Those are the 5 tag teams. We could assume that Xavier is going to maybe sit out, right?
Yes.
There you go.
As he does.
Yeah.
But I thought...
Unless he needs to get pinned.
Didn't the Golden Truth lose their spot?
They gave their spot to Shining Stars for a vacation to...
Puerto Rico, probably.
Oh, that's right. And then they ended up on the team anyway?
What the hell?
No,
right?
I don't know.
Or is it just 4 tag teams? No, I don't think it is.
No, it's 5 tag teams versus 5 tag teams.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really weird. I would hope that you guys were talking about possible trades. Maybe we get some tag teams switching spots to entice the division.
That'd be nice.
Get some American Alpha, maybe.
You mean the Raw?
And they did reference American Alpha yet again on this episode.
Yeah, they're being, talked about more than any other SmackDown tag team.
They're another one that came in white hot and just...
Right.
So, yeah, it would be nice to shake up all these guys.
I mean, that tournament was one for me that I thought American Alpha could have easily won, but all of a sudden you have Rhino and Heath Slater. That story kind of took fire. And
Right.
They sold an injury, so I wonder if maybe there was a concern of somebody. I don't know the actual backstage on that, but it seems like maybe.
Chad Gable?
Yeah, so maybe something really was at least in question, and then it turned out okay. I don't know, but it's been a weird story for them in such a short period of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's get on to the two biggest moments of the evening. Let's first off, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg face off with 19 security guards in the ring.
Including 3.0, one of my favorite tag teams. 3.0, Canadian tag team. They've appeared in Shakara before.
Oh, yeah.
They're super dope.
Very cool. So, what do you guys think about this this overall segment here? I mean, I thought Goldberg looked great.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Heyman
good on
did
the
great.
mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Lesnar backed off.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually, I was trying to decide how I felt about it. I think I liked it. I think I liked it a lot. It was a creative way of telling the story and keeping them apart, keeping them obviously not touching each other until the show.
Yeah.
In an era where it's getting progressively harder and harder to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the line of guys. I mean, I thought it was visually done well with half facing one way, half facing the other way.
That poor guy that Lesnar pushed.
Oh man.
I think the weirdest thing is they did the same thing on NXT this past week with the NXT title contract signing.
Right. Nakamura taking out security guards.
But they had them diagonally in the ring, one facing one way, one facing the other. Interesting what NXT is doing.
I actually like what Samoa Joe did. I love the fact that he just sat on the stage and
That was good.
He was all like.
I think you made that actual noise. Yeah, but I mean, those two was a little different because they've been having trouble fighting. They've busted up so many security people already, so it was like warranted maybe. But
Sorry, that sound effect was just for Ty.
The thought of Samoa Joe with a slide whistle, but just looking like mean as hell, still is incredible.
First off, a slide whistle makes everything better. I don't know if you know that.
Sure.
it's true.
But
yeah, I think this was done really well. I mean, I think that given how this has been a rocky road,
Right,
especially
right.
very dependent on where they were too. I mean, they had a lot of rough time with the crowds and this Goldberg Lesnar build up. Tonight was not a problem. I think
Buffalo
this is what you wanted.
Buffalo was on Goldberg's side, and I think part of it was the fact that Goldberg came out confident. He was confident in what he said, and the question is, I don't know. You go a little bit further north to Toronto, I don't know if that's going to be any different.
Right. Yeah, no, I think if we've learned anything over the course of this program, it's that, I mean, and maybe this is just me, but I never realized that Goldberg was this good on the mic because he's been doing really good stuff.
Yeah.
These last, I don't know, few months. But it was, like I said, creative the way he and Heyman were kind of playing off each other. I love Heyman playing the Weasel manager that won't stop picking at him, won't stop mentioning his family, just really kind of goading him into it. Yeah, I think if this happened in the 80s, we would see Paul Heyman suspended over the ring in like one of those miniature cages.
Ooh.
Back in the day.
That would work.
Love those.
And finally, we get to the face-off between Shane and Daniel Bryan and Stephanie and Mick Foley. I think my favorite moment, there we go, nice. My favorite moment was when Shane and Daniel Bryan were like, we're going to prove that Team SmackDown is a superior team. And the crowd of Raw starts cheering for SmackDown. And Steph's like, you know what show this is, right?
You paid to come to Raw.
I enjoyed that.
Really
But I just think that, we talk to chat roll all the time. We talk to the compadres fans and we talk about us. I think for the most part, the common consensus has been that people have enjoyed SmackDown more.
Show-wise or this team?
Since the brand extension.
And it can't be understated the fact that 2 hours is a whole lot easier to enjoy than 3. Like, no matter how good a show is, if you've got 3 hours, there's going to be some moments that kind of lull, So I think it's easier. I think it's, and that's not taking anything away from SmackDown. I think in a lot of ways it has become an incredible show, but I think the fact that it's 2 hours makes it a little less likely to wear out its welcome.
Also, chat roll, we're being asked to talk about how Stephanie called Paul Heyman fat. I don't know why we're supposed to say that, but yeah, he did.
I mean, it was
a lot of padding.
Yeah, and it's like Paul Heyman, to his credit, was ready right there to defuse it, but of course, once again, got kind of trampled over.
Disappointed!
Right, Kevin? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Steph says Shane is glory hounding, and she then introduces Shane to Team Raw. And Daniel Bryan's like, did you honestly think we came alone? Team SmackDown enters the ring. KO and AJ Styles talk smack back and forth. Can I say what AJ said here? I don't know.
Sure. Do it.
The only thing Kevin Owens has proved is that he's still stuck on Chris Jericho's sugar nipple.
Say the word, Johnny.
Say sugar tit.
Say it.
Sugar tit.
There you go.
There it is.
In a southern accent.
I'm convinced it's one of those things where it's like it's not nearly as bad as it sounds.
No, it's not. It's just a stupid little phrase.
Like,
but I love the fact that he said it.
Is it like a bird or something?
It's just a common insult.
I'm thinking of a booby.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, there is.
What?
You're right, Ty. You're right.
Okay, thank you.
There's a sugar tit bird?
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it on the post show.
Right.
Oh, you mean our version of Talking Smack?
Yeah.
Cool.
The after show.
You mean where we just listen to sound bites that you play the whole time and
We're
laugh?
talking about Raw talk.
That'd be the best
Raw.
after show of all time. We sit here and listen to sound bites and laugh at it.
I would really once again. That's very much the Lucha Underground after show, guys. Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific.
I mean, but the SmackDown team has a lot of like cool panache to it. I mean,
Sure.
there's something there for everybody. I feel, whereas Braun hasn't. I mean, he's the big guy,
Right.
but it doesn't have any fanfare to him. I mean,
Right.
you have AJ Styles, you have Dean Ambrose. Everybody there is representing some faction of wrestling, even with Ellsworth.
It's a lot more well-rounded. It's a much more
Exactly.
well-rounded squad than the Raw team
the
is,
Raw
for
team.
sure.
Yeah.
I like. One of the reasons I love the brand extension, and one of the reasons I loved it before, is you get that excitement of like, oh, this guy is not supposed to be on the show.
Yeah.
Seeing all those blue shirts on Raw is inherently exciting.
Yeah, I agree, and it's been just enough time to make this really matter. And
Sure.
then, maybe we'll get a new draft, or we win, we pick some of your guys, or whatever they might do, so it'll add some more, weight to it.
Right.
And even stuff like the Sami Zayn match, like that's so cool that he could bring that belt to Raw, or maybe if he loses, Stephanie might trade him away to SmackDown.
That's a good point. That's also a good point.
Who knows? But I like that there's things at stake. And
Yep.
they want this. They obviously want Survivor Series to matter again. That is
Yes.
100% clear.
Definitely.
And it should. Mm-hmm. I was very upset that it was always this kind of jigsawed, hacky thing happening for the past few years.
Team Teddy versus Team Johnny wasn't that Survivor
That
Series?
was WrestleMania.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
For a hot minute, Survivor Series just never had Survivor Series matches.
No, they were like, "Hey, The Rock's back.
Like, all right.
Let's put him with R-Truth.
I mean,
and do
that's
a
cool.
Tag team
They
match."
also had bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
Exactly.
That was bad.
Absolutely.
It wasn't.
But I mean, like, as much as I dug Awesome Truth versus Rocket Cena, that match was undeservedly dope. Like, go check that match out. But yeah, for a long time we just weren't seeing any Survivor Series matches, and that
was weird.
One of the things I really got excited for, the same way that I would get excited for the Royal Rumble match at Rumble, I would get excited for these random ass teams of 5 guys.
Exactly.
Oh,
'Cause
I
it is
loved
so weird.
it. When I was a kid, I absolutely, because I would always root for the underdog. I remember the one time there was a 5-on-5 match, and I was a big fan of Sam Houston for some reason. So he was like the ultimate underdog.
Okay.
He was kind of like Ellsworth, only like a little bit better.
Sure.
Like obviously a way better wrestler, but as far as he'd never win.
Right.
And I remember the one time he was actually on a 5-on-5 team, and he wasn't the first eliminated, and to me that was a victory. I was like,
That was
yes,
enough.
Sam, get him!
That was enough.
He was the second eliminated, but whatever.
But
it's still
it's the
pretty awesome.
principle of the thing.
Absolutely.
It's just like having Hell in a Cell without the Hell in a Cell match. Like it's weird.
Right.
It's just weird to me that they weren't doing it. So I'm glad that they are back on point.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of being on point, Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, they're really best friends.
Yeah, they shared a scarf.
Hugged it out, shared a scarf, and then Jericho just went list crazy. He put AJ on the list, his stupid soccer mom's hair, you just made the list, and then he goes, what the hell is that? Looking at James Ellsworth. Is there a lost child at ringside? You're a weird-looking guy. Well, you know what? Weird guys make the list.
So good.
It's amazing how over that is.
It's
Just
incredible.
The crowd just like
Look,
anticipates him saying it.
It just doesn't take much to get things over. Like, people like simplicity. Listen to all the chants. They're all 3 words because no one
Right.
wants to do it,
Right.
except for the idiots who sing.
Jericho
like-
did a really interesting interview recently where he credited Jimmy Jacobs with coming up with the list, the idea of the list.
Jimmy Jacobs, super creative
That
guy.
dude's a genius. Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, people just want something to grasp onto, and Jericho's so good at delivering it and being so snarky. Like, the character's perfect.
The delivery of the line is really what like sets people off. It's it's the best.
It's amazing. Everything. Drinking in man. I mean,
sure. And I love the fact that he's putting different twists on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I love obviously when are we getting to that the physicality of this?
Yes, we are. Everyone tries to get their words in. I've been asked to do a Bray Wyatt impression by chat roll, but he didn't really have much to say.
He talked to Brown.
He talked to Brown.
Did it?
Yeah.
What did he say?
I'm trying to remember what he said. It was just, "Hey man." Wait, that was Jericho.
The resigned J-Lo.
It's been a while since I've done it. I don't even remember. He said
You can do it.
something to the extent of
Just make something up.
the team turned his back. I
made you. I destroyed you.
I gave you the keys to the castle, Brown.
I forgot how ubiquitous that impression was on this show before the brand extension.
It was every week.
I haven't done it in like most of this year.
Right? You haven't gotten the chance to.
No. Well, I mean, I just, too much of one thing is I know when to cool it.
Sure.
Sure. I've been doing this long enough to where I'm not gonna do the same thing every week.
Yeah, I don't.
But I do love I love seeing like the kind of shotgun finishes back and forth.
Yeah.
I was kind of like as much of like a Shield fanboy as I am. I feel like that powerbomb was kind of wasted on this segment.
I didn't mind that as much as how protected Roman was in this entire exchange.
Sure.
And the fact that, like, he already got his finish,
Right.
or his pseudo finish, whatever, the Superman punch.
Uh-huh.
And then Bray comes in to do his finish. No.
Nope.
Not going to get to do that one.
Nope.
That's the one guy that doesn't get to
He's
do
the
it.
guy in improv class that has the gun. Nope.
And then Roman gets to do his again.
A lot going on, but Ambrose starts the fight, and then I kind of lost count of everything that happened. I mean, Strowman ends up destroying people. Shane takes him over the ropes. Jericho stands alone. Then an RKO. Rollins pedigrees AJ, leaving Roman and Rollins together. Then they powerbomb AJ on top of the entire SmackDown team, and I believe
The two-thirds Shield powerbomb.
Yeah, and then I believe Raw goes off the air with them standing tall.
Yeah, Raw's up in the ring.
Yeah.
Raw's all up in it.
Yep. And Shane finally got that rub.
Yeah, right.
So overall, what are your thoughts on Shane being involved on Team SmackDown? To me, I think it's a little interesting because if you're really looking at it a little bit deeper, it's like, oh, does this mean that you don't have faith in anyone else on that roster to fill it out?
No,
that
it
you'd
doesn't.
rather.
I don't think it means that at all.
I liked the way he explained it, where he's going into battle with his men.
Yeah.
He's leading by example.
I thought that was a good storyline reasoning, and I think also real reasoning is they feel like Shane wrestling adds weight to it.
Right,
And
exactly.
It's a special occasion. And
Right.
again, they want you to know how special Survivor Series is. Here comes Goldberg. Here we're doing it big. We're added TakeOver.
Right.
They've done every single trigger they could pull, they pulled it.
Right.
Do you think any other matches are going to be added?
Maybe. I mean, do we know anything about what's going on the pre-show?
We know it starts an hour early. So
Yeah.
They got time to
Okay.
fill.
Sure.
Let's see.
They'll definitely add a match or two.
Right.
I just don't know of any feuds off the top of my head that seem like they need to.
I'm trying to think of potential interpromotional matches that could happen on the pre-show.
Here's what we got so far. We got 6 matches. Brian Kendrick, Kalisto. Dolph Ziggler versus Miz and, or Zayn. Team Raw tag teams versus SmackDown. Ladies, Raw versus SmackDown. Overall, top guys, Raw versus SmackDown. And Lesnar versus Goldberg. I mean, if you ask me, that's... Well, here's the thing. If Survivor Series is starting at 7 p.m., are we looking at a 4-hour show? God, I hope not.
Maybe more.
I feel like all of the major ones, all of like the quote unquote big 4, Rumble, Mania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam. I feel like those are like by default 4-hour shows by now.
Yeah. SummerSlam's been hour early for the past couple of years.
WrestleMania this year was 19 hours.
That was a
And someone in the chat brought it up. Joe Loco 386 mentioned Undertaker's coming back to SmackDown tomorrow. Who knows if he might show up, do something in Survivor Series?
Ooh,
It's
interesting.
a special place for the Undertaker.
It very much is.
Absolutely. And I think we could also, depending on how much ring rust there is on Goldberg, I think it is possible that Undertaker could maybe show up inside of that match in some.
Do you think we're looking at Taker Goldberg potentially?
Ooh.
I think there's still beef between him and Brock that you could tell it storyline-wise for him to just mess it up, even if it doesn't lead to something. I don't know how much we're going to get out of Goldberg or out of Lesnar.
Right.
Really.
Right. That's a good point.
Or could Shane and Brock Lesnar be reunited somehow? As far as like reignited, I should say.
Oh, okay. I was like,
that could be
reignited, and it feels so good.
They didn't really do anything with that, really, right?
No.
This whatever happens is going to be building right into the Rumble.
Right.
So I'm sure we're going to see lots of threads come unraveled and connected in new ways.
Yeah. Right.
At 2:03.
Thank you, Counselor. Raw AfterBuzz Studios. And there's always some guy like, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, we're getting some requests in the chat room. Let me see how I could smoothly bring this in. So
do it.
While we're talking about the 900th episode of SmackDown, the very special guest that's going to be on SmackDown is...
Oh yeah, Edge. And The Undertaker.
You know it's the Mac Militant. Coming to get it on.
Versus
The Big Show
and
Mark Henry. I don't know what else to say.
I was seeing what you can come up with. I was hoping you were gonna go Undertaker versus Undertaker. And The Undertaker.
Guest referee,
Teddy's the best.
The Undertaker, John Cena versus Edge, and Randy Orton.
Mark on the soundboard is my favorite.
Oh boy! Wow.
Edge.
Good
So
stuff,
good.
man. Well,
yeah, but yeah, 900 episodes.
yes, that's gonna be fun. Very excited for Survivor Series. Are y'all gonna be able to watch live this Sunday?
Live, baby, live.
I think I can. I'm
so.
pretty sure I can.
Survivor Series?
I'm gonna try my best.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna miss that.
Well, no. Usually I get stuck watching it at like midnight, like
Well,
at the pay-per-view.
I've gotten so used to us at Championship Wrestling
Right.
from Hollywood competing with the pay-per-views. That,
Yes.
But I think I will. I think I will be watching it. Live, baby, live.
Let's talk. Maybe we'll watch it.
Absolutely.
And we'll just Skype you in.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
FaceTime it.
Yeah, that's right.
Here?
Huh?
What?
Why don't we have a viewing here at the AfterBuzz TV studio?
Hey.
You might be onto something.
No hands.
You know it's the
I'm having so much fun.
This is crap.
It's gonna be Edge and
The Big Show.
versus
Mark Henry. The Undertaker.
in a tag team match.
Sorry, I got confused.
Dario.
Long wrestling show.
Oh, now I want to see Dario versus Teddy Long.
These were the laughs I needed.
Dario
Oh
would just
boy, I'll
wreck
tell you
Teddy
what. Some people want to know predictions. I don't want to do predictions.
We never do
Let's
predictions.
just enjoy the show.
We never do predictions.
Raw is gonna win some of the stuff.
I feel like most of
And
this.
SmackDown's gonna win some other stuff.
I feel like most of this show. Oh, they want like specific like Survivor Series
Yeah,
predictions.
maybe we'll do that on Compadres
Oh,
this
that's a
week.
good
So make sure
point.
you follow at
That's a
Fox
good question.
Compadres.
That's a good question.
And we'll get
Ever
some
since
stuff.
we turned over the predictions title to the fans, I haven't even thought about that.
are jobs at stake for Raw if they don't win? Is that what the...
She said it last week.
I think
but-
that's being alluded to.
Yeah. That's not
Um,
official yet.
No,
Okay.
but she backed off that this week.
That's because SmackDown gonna win.
I think SmackDown's gonna win the big one. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I think SmackDown's gonna win the big one. Raw might win tag team and women's.
It's hard to figure out if any stories will like spin out of any of these.
Right.
They have to.
Right.
Yeah, you would hope so. The question is,
Young.
what better stories will come out of it? You know?
Make Darren Young great again.
Where was Rusev tonight?
I don't know.
It's weird.
A little bit weird.
How many honeymoons do you get?
I'd never been on one, but I'd like to go.
Where's Jinder Mahal? Is more importantly.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
More
anyways.
importantly?
I want to hear that
We're
music.
pretty much good music. We're pretty much done. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
It's my favorite.
That should be the beginning of Braun Strowman's theme music. Oh snap!
What else does the chat roll say? I can't read over there.
Joey Lawrence, not that Joey Lawrence, but the one in chat roll. Whoa. Says he predicts we get a
He never
Benedict.
gets that.
He predicts we get a Benedict Arnold somewhere, meaning he thinks someone's going to stab someone in the back. Which, yeah,
Or a
I think
delicious
that's-
I was gonna say, you son of a bitch.
That's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Ooh, who do we think? We've seen that before. We've seen people betray their brands before.
But I mean, there's already so many people fighting in between. So it's like, are
Right.
they really? Because they already hate each other. Like, would you be shocked?
That's true. Yeah, it loses some of the weight when they're all already kind of feuding with each other. That's
so
a good
it's
point.
like, would you be shocked if Charlotte, natural selection Sasha? No.
Maybe no Eggs Benedict this time.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Unless it was Dana turning on Charlotte.
Ooh.
Oh, snap!
She was just hanging out outside. What else is she doing in that match?
I mean, like, what if Dana just like straight up murks Charlotte?
Inconceivable.
Right. And I don't know. Maybe jumps to SmackDown.
Isn't Natalya out there too?
She's coaching.
Oh, she's coaching.
What does that mean?
Captain coaching, not wrestling, but coaching the SmackDown women's team.
They just felt bad that they didn't put her on the team?
She lost a match to get in, and so
coaching.
she's like, "Hey, I'm from Canada."
No, I watched the show, but I don't get it.
Is the idea that she's being punished by being made to coach?
Who is she coaching? They're all professional wrestlers. What the hell?
She is the veteran.
Dale's just turning into Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal with Natalya?
Guys.
Please, everyone calm down. There's already a party bag in here. It's crazy.
The studio's only so big.
Anyways, well, what the hell? Let's all put ourselves over. Ty Matthews?
Sure. You can find me on social media at Ty Matthews PMA. That is most, if not all, forms of social media. You can also find me on Thursday nights alongside Jimbo in the booth, Mark Donica, our trusty soundboard, and Rachel Sam Evans. Every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Talking Lucha Underground every single week. Aztec Warfare is this week, so that's big stuff.
Yeah.
Also, be sure to check out Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. You can find me. You can find Jay Loquasto.
You can hear my voice at least. Occasionally see me.
You can hear those smooth, silky smooth dulcet tones of Jonny Loquasto.
That's right. Yeah, the best commentary you've ever done.
Oh boy! In addition to the NXT teams, The Hobo, who I will be doing battle with very soon.
I really want to be there for that.
It'll be fun if y'all are in Arizona. Check it out.
Or have the Fight app.
Desert Diamond or the Fight TV app. Yes, but we're every Saturday 4 p.m. Fight TV, Tough TV, Patreon, YouTube America, KDOC. Check those local listings. Get some wrestling in your head.
Dale Rutledge?
Hey! I don't have nearly as many things to say.
No.
Watch all the Thai stuff.
Yeah.
And?
Oh, and me. And The Walking Dale.
The Big Show.
And?
On Twitter.
And?
Instagram.
And what else?
I have another show.
Which is?
Wrestling Compadres.
What?
Fox Sports.
I haven't heard of it. It's on Fox Sports?
Check it out.
Wait, are you telling me it's the only pro wrestling show on Fox Sports?
I didn't actually tell you that at
and
all.
that everyone should listen and enjoy it on YouTube?
I agree with you, but
and they should follow it at Fox Compadres?
I feel like you knew these things already.
This is all new to me.
Not gonna lie.
I don't know, but you nailed it. Those are true.
I feel like you're pulling the wool over our eyes.
It's going to be another... I'm not pulling over. I don't know how to pull wool, man.
That's probably true.
Yeah. I don't know how to pull wool. It's going to be a great week on Wrestling and Padres. This past week was fantastic.
Yes.
We had Baron Corbin on Friday. We got a special guest coming up this Friday. And this Tuesday, we're going to record as well. So it's going to be good stuff. Anything else, Dale?
That's it.
Thai stuff. All right.
More of Thai stuff.
At Jay Quasto, our biggest blood drive ever is coming up at the Children's Hospital Los Angeles, December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 3 days to donate blood. So we're really trying to pack it out. If you know anyone in the LA area, please hit me up on social media.
Anyone that has blood.
Anyone has blood. Anyone who has blood.
Hit them up.
Hit me up. And it's going to be an amazing event. Otherwise, at Jay Quasto, jlocomedy.com, spruced up the website. At the La Jolla Comedy Store in San Diego this weekend. That's going to be super fun. Otherwise, guys, we love you so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The Undertaker!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.